party. And to start off, we need the invocation, and we have asked Steve Toth to give the invocation for us.
Good evening. Let's go before the Lord. Father God, thank you that you'd be so good to us, Lord God, that you could draw us together tonight. Lord God, your word says that you dwell in our peace and you dwell in our unity. And so, God, I pray that you take our party. And I pray that we would be people that would honor and glorify you, not just by what we stand for, Lord God, but how we love each other, how we stand together. God, there's evil in this world. You've called us to stand against it. You cause us to be a force for good, to reflect your goodness and your precepts in this world. So God, do what we can. Do what only you can do. God, do a new work in America. Do a new work in Texas. Do a new work in Montgomery County. Let us start right here in each of our lives, Lord. That we walk in a way that really pleases you. So we bless you now. We pray that this meeting would be a blessing. That we'd be a blessing to each other, and that you'd accomplish what you want to accomplish tonight. In Jesus' name. And all God's children said, Amen.
And if we could have Bob Bagley come forward for the pledges.
So if you're a U.S. citizen, you can join with me on this. If you're not, then it's okay. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the great nation of Texas.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you.
I want to welcome the many guests that we have here tonight, and welcome each of you for being here. This is a very important meeting, and I'm really glad that you are here, because he has to go back to Austin tonight for a very important meeting, which I'm not going to tell you about because that's his to tell. We have Chairman Abraham George, the state party chairman, to speak to us first.
Gwen, thank you. This is very formal. It's probably the first CEC meeting that I walked into that we have this kind of setup, so this is nice. My name is Abraham George. I'm here for one reason, and well, actually two, now that I have one more that I'm talking to Steve Toth. One of the things that I'm here for is we have a Senate district race coming up. You guys know about it, you've been working on it, and I just want to be very open up front with the CEC, because CEC this is inside, like this is our family, this is not public. We're the people, you're the people who actually make it happen. You're block walking, you're talking to your neighbors, you're putting the signs up, you are it. There is no other person who does as much as you do for the Republican Party in any county. So, primaries are hard, but there's a reason for it. I mean, we go at each other during primary seasons. And once the primaries are over, we have a candidate. We choose whoever the most got the most numbers of votes, and then we get behind that person. We get that person elected, regardless of who did you support in the past cycle. The reason for that is I was at SBOE this morning, and I was able to testify for a couple of minutes. There was about 400 people altogether who came to testify for the SBOE. If you don't know what's happening there is we have a new curriculum that the new TEACs that came together. It is putting a lot of classical education, Judeo-Christian values into public schools. And last few days ago, a couple of weeks ago, a group called CARE, Do you guys know who CARE is? It's a Islamic Muslim Brotherhood funded group out here in the United States, and Governor Abbott have designated them as a terrorist group, a domestic terrorist group here in our country. They came in, and this is what they want. They want to share how the Islamic faith was also involved in founding of our country. And everyone is confused as much as they are on this specific topic. And that's their ask. That's who you are fighting, really. And it's really, people say this is really not about politics, it's a spiritual battle. And in the past when I used to hear that, and I'm like, yeah, politicians say that. But right now, it really is a spiritual battle. It's really not about Republican versus Democrat anymore. This is the people who are on the right side and the people who want to destroy us. So once the primaries are over, my point is, once the primaries are over, we have a Republican who is our nominee. We're going to get behind that person, make sure he wins that election. The reason is, the other person is going to be 100% of the time against you, against us. Our Republican may be against us 10%, maybe 5%, depends who you talk to. You can ask now our new congressman, who's going to be a new congressman, Steve Doth, in the Texas House when he was there. He was in the very minority of Texas House members who were fighting the establishment for years. I think you did that for what, almost 10 years? About 10 years. And in the last cycle, I've had so many phone calls with Steve, and he would say, Abraham, this is what's really happening. They're telling you this on the microphone, but that's not what's happening. This is what's really happening, right? And he will get on a call with the SREC members, the legislative priority committees, him and Andy Hopper and Mitch Little and all of those guys, and they will educate the party members to testify properly, to talk to the legislators properly, to push the amendments we need. We can do that if that person is a Republican. You think a Democrat is going to listen to our amendments? No. So my ask to you is to get behind the nominee you have. He's an amazing guy. I talked to him. He said he put a lot of people in jail. And I'm like, wait, what did you do? So he was a DA. So he's a great guy. We need to get him elected. I don't know if you guys heard this. In the past few weeks, we lost a Senate district in North Texas, SD9. We're going to win that back. But we cannot, this is not a trend we want to start. In special elections, we cannot lose our candidates. We have to win every election. Not only for that Senate seat, but for 26 cycle. I can promise you this. 2026 November election is going to be worse than 2018. Democrats have pledged $1.2 billion for Texas from George Soros and the rest of the group. Thank you. $1.2 billion is a lot of TV ads. That's a lot of mailers, a lot of block walkers. It's going to be an uphill battle for us. In the past 2018 cycle, which was one of the cycles when Beto ran against Ted Cruz, every one of us thought we're going to lose statewide. And it was because that candidate was like that. Tyler Rico is a version of Beto, who is a smooth-talking Bible seminarian that he calls himself, who thinks God is non-binary. Yeah. So for us to expose this guy, it's going to take us a lot of money. We'll find the money, but it's going to take a lot of people to get together. And if Democrats starting to see we start to lose Senate district races, they're going to have more than $1.2 billion, and we cannot afford to have that. That's my request. I'm going to give you a very short version of the convention update there. June 11 to 13 is the convention. You guys, it's very close to you all. George R. Brown, about 40 minutes from here, I believe. 40, 50 minutes. So, with traffic, no, forget the traffic. I'm from North Texas. We have traffic. So, whatever the time it takes you, it can be 5.5 hours, which is what I have. So, It's very close to you all. Hopefully many of you are delegates. Our room blocks will be opening on April 20th, so everyone will have a room available. We have 7,000 rooms booked under Republican Party of Texas name. So, and it's not $600 and $700 as you see online. It is $184 to $284. The most expensive one is Marriott Marquis, which is the nice hotel with the Texas pool and all of that. It's $284 plus tax. So it's not an expensive convention as everyone is saying on Facebook. Please don't believe Facebook. Look at the registration, sign up there. You will be able to come to convention. And if you're over 65 and over, your registration is cut in half. It's only $50. So, I see like a couple of you who are over 65 here. You get to take the benefit of that. And anyone under 25 and under, you guys get a 75% discount, which is only $25. So, and there is some incentives for transportation. You guys are pretty close, so you may not need it. If you do, we're happy to work with you guys on getting a chartered bus and all of those good stuff. That's my spiel for the day. So thank you for having me. Gwen, thank you. She's been an amazing SREC member, and I know she's been a great commentator for you all. Dale Inman, supposed to be here. I can't find him. I think he's traveling. So he is traveling, that's right. So when he comes back, tell him that we miss him and he should come to CEC meetings. That's all I've got. Thank you all for having me today. God bless you all.
Thank you, Chairman, so much for being here. We really, really, really appreciate it. So y'all have had a first-hand report of the upcoming convention and things that are going on. So to continue with our guests that are going to be speaking, we do have a fire chief. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, so you'll have to introduce yourself, but you are very important to us, and we do want to allow you a few minutes to speak.
Thank you so much. My name is Terry Colburn. I'm the fire chief at Magnolia Fire Department on Montgomery County Emergency Service District number 10. And tonight I want to talk to you about our proposition that's coming up on the ballot if you're in our area. I'll be quick about this because I know every one of y'all are not in our district, so it'll just be an education seminar for y'all that are not. But really this proposition focuses on two main things. One, maintaining reliable emergency services in Magnolia as the community continues to grow. The second thing it focuses on doing is changing a funding model, transferring from a property tax majority funding model to a sales tax majority funding model. And I'll talk a little bit about that. Thank you, sir. Let's start with the growth. In case y'all didn't know, Montgomery County is growing. That's a new concept around here, but in the Magnolia area, that is our emergency service district right there, 164 square miles, one of the largest in Montgomery County. Those 10 areas inside that blue area is the new developments that's going on in our area. The map is outdated already. It seems like it changes weekly, but there's over 40,000 new homes platted in our area upcoming. We are actually seeing 3,500 new homes hit the ground annually. Not only single-family homes, but also multifamily developments, apartment complex, senior citizen care facilities, and the expanding commercial growth coming to our area. So how does that growth impact our service delivery? I've got a little growth map there to the side, and since 2022, you can see there was a large spike there. We've been about 10% annual growth since then. But our call volume has actually outpaced that by 14% per year. We're currently running about 9,500 runs annually. So let's talk about the cost of delivering service. Over the last 3 years, the consumer price index is somewhere around 9-10%. We've all seen that every time we go to the store and try to buy something. During that same time period, though, the fire service has seen astronomical increases. Our ladder trucks, about 83%. Engines, 53%. I know 5 years, in a matter of 5 years, they've doubled in price. For a year ago, I could buy a ladder, or 5 years ago, I could buy a ladder truck for $1 million. Today, they're $2.1 million for each one. A fire engine, $625,000 5 years ago. Today, they're $1.2 million each. It's not only the trucks, it's also our gear. To outfit one firefighter with protective gear, an air pack, and a radio is $27,000 right now. We have 168 employees in the Magnolia Fire Department. Building cost is no different. We've seen it's more than doubled over the past 5 years. We're now paying about $550 to $650 per square foot for buildings and facilities. It's not just the prices, it's also the timeline. These fire trucks, 5 years ago, I could order one and get it within that year. Today, they're 2 to 3 years out before we get them. So, same with normal equipment. An extension ladder, we tried to buy one the other day, it was an 18-month delivery time on it. So we have to be really strategic in our planning to forecast revenue 2 to 3 years out, because the need 2 to 3 years out, because that's when we're actually going to take delivery of this equipment. So now let's move into funding real quick. How are we funded? Traditionally, fire departments are funded through property tax. This is designed for those slower growth communities. I threw our growth chart back up there. You can see from 2012 to 22, that slow, predictable rise. The property tax model works well during that time because, as I said, it's a predictable growth. You understand that it's not going to be a very big increase from year to year, and you're able to plan and get around that. But when you have the massive spikes like we've had since 2022, the property tax model doesn't hold up well because there's a lag in funding. And we'll talk about that. So what do you mean lag in funding? So let's take a scenario where the development that's going on. Year one, the development's announced. Year two, they start building the houses and they get the house built. Year three, the resident moves into the house. Year four is when we actually see the property tax revenue from that. They'll live in that house for the remainder of that year. They'll pay their property taxes at the end of that year. We'll see it that following year. But the service demand actually starts year two when the developers are there and all the construction workers and the dump trucks and all the things that are in the community. That's when the service demand starts. So we have to actually provide service for 2 years before we actually see the revenue. Now you flip to the sales tax side of that, it's the same model, it's the same scenario, and it's the same time. Service delivery starts in year two. But the funding starts in year two as well, every time the contractor stops and buys material, or stops and buys something to eat, or gets fuel. That revenue hits right then when it happens, and we're not waiting for those 2 years to see that revenue come in. So it can actually scale as the community grows, the revenue grows. So how does sales tax work in Texas? Nowhere in Texas can you be charged more than 8.25% for sales tax. Out of that, 6.25 goes directly back to the state for all your state services. They leave up to 2% available to stay local, or your local government, your cities, your fire departments, your ESD, emergency service districts, your counties, even your improvement districts can tap into that. The only caveat is, of that 2%, it has to be voters approved. Voters get to decide where that 2% goes. So I put a map on our certain situation in our service area. This is actually what's on the ballot. So that green area is our service district. The black areas that you see inside there, those areas are already capped at 8.25% max. To give you a little idea of where they're at, that's the 249 corridor on the far left. That's the city of Magnolia, that big brown area right there. The city limits of Magnolia is already capped at 8.25%. The Autobahn area right next to it. 1488 goes from east to west or from left to right across the map. All those areas, the major commercial areas, are already capped at the 8.25%. There would be no change if you voted for this proposition in those areas. They're already at the max. That's 2978 coming down from the bottom right there. But all the remaining green area that you see on that map, there's still 1% available of local sales tax. And that is what we're actually requesting on the ballot on May 2nd. If successful, then this whole area will now be at the 8.25% max, and the whole map will be black. It's worth mentioning, before I move on, that the areas to the south, to the east, and to the north of our area are already capped at the 8.25% max as well. And those areas, both 2% of the local sales tax goes to fund fire protection. So in the south, it's Tomball Fire Department. To the east, it's the Woodlands. To the north is Montgomery County ESD 2, and to the northeast is Montgomery County ESD 3. They're already capped, and they already have that available. So how are we currently funded? Currently, property tax rate for ESD 10 is 0.092 cents per $100 of value. So if you had a $380,000 home value on the tax roll, which Google says is the average for Montgomery County, you would pay us $350 a year for emergency services. Right now, that current funding makes up 57% of our total revenue that we receive annually. The fire department does currently receive 1% sales tax in some areas of our district. Not all of them. There's some areas we don't get any, but some areas we get 1%, and that accounts for 43% of our total revenue for the year. If successful, it would actually flip our funding model. It would make us 57% sales tax funded and 43% property tax funded. We believe that this costs, it's a broader revenue base. It captures money from everyone passing through our district that stops and buys something. It allows them to help fund your emergency service. It takes the burden solely off of the property owner, and it places it fairly among everybody that travels through the district. It also makes it a more growth-aligned funding, as we mentioned earlier, where the revenue will scale as the community grows. So what does 1% in purchases look like? 1% increase look like in purchases? If you spent $20, it would be an additional 20 cents. If you spent 50, it'd be an additional 50 cents. You can see the chart, so on and so forth. And though it seems like a small impact individually, collectively across the district, it can make a significant impact in the way that we deliver emergency services. So if successful, what will we do with the money? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to increase our daily staffing. Right now, we currently don't meet the standard of 4 people on every apparatus. It would help us meet that. What does that do for you? It gets more firefighters on scene faster. We're also going to improve our response coverage by building, equipping, and staffing new fire stations. We currently have 3 pieces of property purchased, waiting new stations that would help us to move the timeline a lot closer to getting those stations built so we can increase coverage as this community grows. Help us replace our aging infrastructure, and also responsible replacement of our aging apparatus. And that's it. I tried to rumble through that. That's a lot. Real quick, that's not all of it. Right? There's more information. You can go to this website right here, elections.magnoliafire.org, or scan the QR code. There's more information there. There's also a question and answer page right there. If you have a question for us, feel free to send it to us. We'll be glad to answer that and get back to you as soon as we can. And with that, am I taking questions?
Well, we can take a question or two if someone has a question.
Got a question?
Yes, sir.
Being that you are experienced in fire equipment, all these houses that are getting built, do you believe that they're built too close together? Because as we see in California and all that, the houses were so close together, one catches, and then it's just a chain reaction. Do you believe that the regulations need to be changed, that way the houses are spread more far apart, that way it's not a fire hazard to the neighborhood?
Yes, sir. That's if you ask a fireman that question, yeah, we're going to want a lot of room in those houses. You know, they don't always ask us, though. That's a great point. They are building them closer together, right? The development, I get it. It's about money. The closer you build them, the more you can get on there, the more revenue you get.
So there needs to be an adjustment to the regulations of construction.
I think more importantly is the road width, because nobody parks in the driveway. Everybody parks in the side, and getting the fire trucks and the ambulances, for that fact, even the garbage trucks in and out of those neighborhoods sometimes is kind of difficult. So The road width is an issue, and I think we've made some headway on that on last commissioner court. We did expand it from 22 to I think 24 feet. So we did gain a little ground in that in last commissioner's court, or I'll say about a year ago.
Of that 1% proposed increase, how much, are you going to get that whole 1%? Or, because I think I saw somewhere else that you get 1 penny of a portion of that sales tax currently.
Yes.
So unless you get that whole 1%, which I don't get that you are, your county's going to, or your city government's going to get it. What are they going to give you for doing all this?
Right. So if the proposition is successful, we will get the 1 cent that's still available, the 1%, 1 cent that's still available in that area. And that will give us 2 cents in some areas because we currently have 1 cent. There are some areas where we don't have any. The city of Magnolia, we don't get any of the 2%. They get all that, but we still provide service there. There's also some areas outside near the 1488 area that we don't get any as well. The way sales tax work is once you get it, it's yours until you give it up. So if you don't get it, it's still available. So if we're unsuccessful in this, there's still 1% available in all that green area that can be gone after.
Assuming this passes, does it go in writing that X amount will go to the fire department and not just something that's juggled around and
yes, sir.
You guys have enough in the bank now?
Yes, sir. The way the ballot will be written is it'll be for the whole county up to 2% is the ballot language. So anywhere in the county that there's still some available, we will get that up to the 2% max that's available. And it says Montgomery County ESD 10/Magnolia Fire Department. So yeah, it would be ours, and then it's up to us to manage it responsibly. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, just to add to what you were saying. So, currently you've got 9 houses. 2 of those houses are fairly good condition. 1 of them needs a new roof. The other 7 houses were all volunteer houses. So you became an ESD in 2022. And those houses all they were Jiffy Lubes. We had a place for a truck, and that was all it is. And so there was barely a place for our people, our firefighters to live. Now, with the growth of Magnolia, we have to have a minimum of 4 to 8 people in every one of these houses. And it's a very small room that these men are living in. And normally their kitchen is actually in the place where the trucks are. So recently the fire department purchased 5 new trucks, but there's like another 9 to 10 new trucks that they need. We're about 10 years behind in Magnolia with the growth. So we've got the growth on top of being behind. Again, we were a volunteer fire department, and now our fire chief has taken over about a year ago, and we are an ESD. He has come in, he has done an amazing job. He has come in the last year, he dosed Magnolia ESD, he cleaned house, he cut his staff by half. He has done an absolute amazing job for Magnolia, and he cannot ask you to vote for this, but I, as Precinct 13, I can ask you, if you are in Magnolia ESD, I am asking you to please support our firemen. And there are signs outside. Those signs, again, are not by the fire department. Those signs were made and paid for by the union, who is supporting us as well. So there are signs outside, and if anybody needs anything, feel free to give me a call. I'll be happy to get it to fire chief.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and I just really appreciate all the information that you have given us here tonight. And so if anybody still has questions, it sounds like Lori Clifton might be the person to call first and try to get some more information on that. Okay, we have 2 more elected officials that I know about that we are going to allow to speak. So I don't know, which one of you want to go first? Steve or Brett?
I'm retired.
All right. Well, come on up.
How do you say you're retired without saying you're retired? I apologize for my informality.
Microphone, please.
Oh, sorry. I apologize for my informality. I don't know if anybody's ever seen me without a tie in the last 17 years or so, but Gwen did something earlier at the meeting, Waddle Harry's. Gwen said, look, let's talk about the elephant in the room. So I'm going to take a page out of that book right off the bat. I know there are people that already have their minds made up about my candidacy. I cannot help how young I look, but I promise you, I am the appropriate candidate for Senate District 4. Now, the reason that I'm here is to remind y'all that there is a special election. The chief of my election all happens to file on the same day. It's Kentucky Derby Day. So on the Kentucky Derby, if you wake up that day and you've seen the race and you hadn't voted in the special election, then you need to get on your horse and go out to the polls and you need to vote. So Senate District 4, and that's what Chairman George was here talking about. Senate District 4 is being targeted. There was an election up in Tarrant County, and it fell to the Democrats. Montgomery County, let me wake you up a little bit. We're not a great county when it comes to general elections. We don't raise money for general elections. We have always just kind of drifted along with the national elections. We turn out as a group in Montgomery County because who's at the governor's level or who's at the presidential level. We do not want to start having to fundraise against outside money. Now you heard Chairman George, $1.2 billion. $1.2 billion. Montgomery County is not really in play. But Senate District 4 is Montgomery County, Harris County, which is Kingwood, Atascocita, and Humboldt, Jefferson County, all of Chambers County, all the way down to Bolivar Peninsula. If Senate District 4 gets flipped, it's going to be the Kingwood area. It's going to be Jefferson County. I have all of Port Arthur. Jasmine Crockett won Port Arthur by 89%. That is a city of more than 50,000 people. Over half of them are registered Democrats. We do not want to dig a hole in Jefferson County. We won Jefferson County, Republicans versus Democrats, by less than 1,000 votes. Now, we did better in the Kingwood area, but the concern is that Act Blue, my Democrat opponent, only has one donation. It's from Act Blue. And if you were ever offended by the Democratic Party, you can't be more offended than I was, because the way they described me, first off, they said I was just like Brandon Creighton, my predecessor. They said I was a hillbilly, just like Brandon. And then secondly, they said I wore a cowboy hat. And lastly, they said I wore $10,000 suits. Now, none of that is true. I'm not a hillbilly. So, thank you, I appreciate that. These suits are off the rack, and I do not own a cowboy hat. So, I was telling Jefferson County the other day, there's two ways to get to the polls, and one way is to run to the light. And I have been trying to be one of those people that's a cheerleader for the Republican Party. I want people to get out and vote because they're excited about a Republican candidate staying in Senate District 4. But just like my preacher used to tell me, look, some people go to the light, some people run from the flames. Well, if you want to run from the Democrat Party because you don't want a Democrat in there, if that's what it takes to motivate you to get out and vote on May 2nd, then join me there anyway. So I will continue to go to the light. I will continue to praise the good name of the Republican Party, and I will continue to represent the values of not only Montgomery County, but of Senate District 4. So I need your help, and more importantly, I need your support, and lastly, I need your prayers. So thank you for your time.
I, as your SREC, have represented Senate District 4 for this is my third term, and I'm going to run for the fourth term. And I just want to, thank you, I just want to say I do not want to hang my head in shame that Senate District 4 fell to a Democrat. So don't let me have to do that. We've got to get out there and vote so that we take that. Steve?
Thank you.
What was that last candidate's name? Please excuse my ignorance.
Brett Ligon.
Sorry about that.
Brett Ligon, Ligon.
So when I served, and I still serve in the Texas House, but I served on a criminal jurisprudence committee multiple times, and we had a lobbyist for the DA's Association, District Attorney's Association, by the name of Shannon Edmonds. And what's the right way to call somebody a turd? He was awful. He was a leftist, total progressive leftist. And the only person that we had as a resource the conservatives had was my district attorney, Brett Ligon, that spoke truth into what was really truly going on. Brent was a great resource. He's going to make a great senator for the state of Texas. And buddy, I'm so excited for you. You're going to do great. But this special election is just so critically important. We lost Senate District 9 because it was on a Saturday. And we don't turn out typically. My opponent for Congressional District 2, there's kind of an overlay. The vast majority of Congressional District 2 and Senate District 4 are basically South Montgomery County and Kingwood. The Democrats are going to turn out heavily. This is important to them. Sean Finney, who's running against me, is a multimillionaire. Do you know what his GC is? His general consultant? It's the same GC that ran Bernie Sanders' campaign.
Yeah.
They're going to throw everything and the kitchen sink in this election. And if we give them, and that's really what it would be, if we give them this special election because we don't turn out, shame on us. We've got to do the work. We can win this. We can win this big. We've got to win his race big. Not a little. We got to win it big because we do not want to attract any additional Democrat money in November to this race. It's critically important that people are excited going into the November midterm elections. And I've got news for you. I'm not dour. I am bullish on the midterms. And I'll tell you I'm bullish on the midterms. In 2018, Republicans had to defend net 14 seats were in play. We had to defend 14. This time the Democrats, it's net 2 seats. It's a 16 seat swing over 2018. Here's the other thing to consider, is that the favorability of Democrats over Republicans 2018 was plus 12 for the Democrats. It's plus 5 for the Republicans this time. Even CNN admits that. The wind is at our back, guys. We just have to do the work. So let's do it.
News report real quick. Trump just extended the deadline for 2 weeks. No bombing tonight.
Darn.
Very good, thank you. So are there any other candidates or elected officials that I have missed here tonight?
I came in a bit late. Would you like me to hold until you get to the agenda?
Well, when we ask, you want to talk about that resolution?
Correct.
Yes. Well, we'll be, under resolutions, we'll start that, and then we'll have you. Okay, is that okay? All right. So, I'm joined here tonight. We have Greg Parker, who was doing technical work. We have Phil Cady, who is our Sergeant at Arms. We have Charles Shirley, who is our Treasurer. We have Peter Allison, who is my comrade up here that keeps me straight with parliamentarian work. We have Louis Pedraza, who is the Vice Chairman. Thank you. And we have Lana Howard, who in just a minute I'm going to be appointing as the temporary secretary so that we can get through the roll call. So I'm going to go ahead with my report. And I just want to say that it's been a long, grueling year so far. That's what I'm kind of worried about with this election. We're tired. And so that's what I'm worried about, that you're so tired you're not going to get out and get your precinct ready to vote. We can't do that. We've got to show the spirit, and we've got to get those precincts out to vote. The primary election is important, as each party strives to put their best candidate forward for the November general elections. Although necessary, primaries are brutal. It seems that Republicans are much more ferocious and work harder against each other than they ever do against the Democrats. I did not practice smear campaigning against any of the candidates, and I proudly maintain my decorum and honesty as the sitting county chairman. I really want to thank those of you who worked so hard to see that I was re-elected. You braved heat, cold, long hours, and frankly abuse, and I appreciate you so much. We will be working this next 2 years to grow the party, both in numbers of people involved and in fundraising. I hope to set an example of how not to trash each other and your fellow citizens, but to stick to the issues when making your campaign points. People seem to think they can say anything they want about others on Facebook or social media, things that they would never say in polite society. So the voters have spoken. We move forward as Republicans to win elections for the next year and a half. There is much work to do. I repeat, much work to do. We have been putting in full days as we have been producing the primary fund worker checks by hand and meeting the requirements of the SOS team system for after-election reporting and preparation for the runoff. Many of you have worked for long hours on our 3 conventions, Senate District 4, 7, and 18. Sometimes I wonder why I contribute my own funds toward winning an election so that I can work hard for at least 50 hours a week for free. I might be crazy. I do it because I care about the Republican Party. I care about this county and the voters of this county. And most importantly for me, I love our state and I love our country. And so we have to continue the battle. Oh, it was really, I didn't know what to do when I came in and DJ was sitting over there. DJ has been like my right arm this past 2 years. And I will miss her tremendously. I will try hard not to throw my arms around her legs, yelling, "No, don't go," as she leaves. She has a spirit of concentrating on getting the work done that is hard to find. Please thank DJ for the work she has performed for our party. I know when new folks come in, they have fresh new ideals, and I know the party will thrive with the changes which will take place between now and in June at the organization meeting. We really have to learn how to work together as a team, or we will never really be the Republican powerhouse that Montgomery County can be and deserves. And Texas, frankly, needs us. Thank you. So, as I alluded to, I elect Lana Horde as the temporary secretary, and she will continue with the roll call and the call to order until we can get down to the point where we can elect a new secretary.
Precinct 1, Daley Arbogast. 2, Kent Frappier.
Yeah.
3, Alexander Chandel.
Here.
4, Paul Gabolis. 5, Janelle Murray. 6, Kenneth Ernest. 7, Phoebe Wesley.
Here.
8, William Kirchhoff.
Here.
I need you to sign in. The 9, Quentin Smith.
Yep.
10, Clarence Lewis.
Here.
11, Marlisa Stripling.
Here.
12, James Metz. 13, Lori Clifton.
Here.
14, Oscar Martinez. 15, Gary Reynolds. 16, Mark Frank. 17, Dale Fessenden.
Here.
18, Matthew Dancer. 19, Darrell Wade. 20, Susan Johnson.
Here.
21, Evan Kendrick.
Here.
22, vacant, sorry. 23, Scott Baker.
Here.
24, Bob Bagley.
Here.
25, Wendy Lynch. 26, Caleb Smith. 27, Dale Inman. 28, Stephen Kent. 29, Linda Stuckey. 30, Mark Ferber. 31, Elizabeth Anderson.
Yes. Here.
Thank you. 32, Amy Van Horn.
Here.
33, Scott Robbins. 34, David West. 35, Tammy Kelver. 36, Paul Crossan. 37, Terry Kruppick. 38, Stacy Buick. 39, Brad Vickers.
Here.
40, Jan Nell. 41, 42, Jamie Nash. 43, Charlotte Bellin.
Here.
44, John Schluter. 45, Kat Rummel.
Here.
46, Peter Stees. Thank you. 47, Mark Fusca. 48, Stephen Lawrence. 49, Adrian Heath. 50, Christina Lightfoot. 51, Johnny Reyes. 52, Wayne Pearson. 53, Christopher Crawford.
Here.
54, Tom Grega.
Yep.
55, Sarah Allison. 56, Keith Lincoln. 57 is vacant. 58, Elizabeth Ricard.
Here.
59, Allison Winter.
Here.
60, Judy Thomas.
Here.
61, Donna McAleer.
Here.
62, Stephen Wright. 63, Herschel Williams.
Here.
64, Roy Jimenez. 65, Tammy Lake. 66, Wendy Yockey. 67, Denise Boyd.
Here.
68, Lorraine Rice.
Here.
69, John Wirtz. 70, John Munich. 71, Kathy Lucetta.
Here.
72, Ann Kate.
Here.
73, Rick Vandenberg. 74, Paige Tooker.
Here.
75, Larry Rogers. 76, Paul Gregory. 77, Joshua Jarris. 78, vacant. 79, vacant. 80, Richard Von Robel. 81, Susan Love. 82, Blake Hall. 83, Daniel Stage.
Hello.
84, Jeff Zedler. 85, Bonnie Gross. 86, David Johns. 87, Robert Walker. 88, Charles Shirley. 89, Melinda Olind.
Here.
90, Gilbert Helsher. 91, Annette Kerr.
Here.
92, Justin Stidham. 93, Edward Arnold.
Present.
94, Mary Lewis. 95, Sherry Towell. 96, Louis Yepes. 97, Kimberly Weber.
Here.
98, Stephanie Cox.
Here.
99, Thomas Conley. 100, vacant. 101, vacant. 102, Stacy Kellum.
Here.
103, Michael Anderson. 104, Diane Campbell.
Here.
105, Alexa Pfister.
Here.
106, Lana Horde, here. 107, Jackie Williams.
Here.
108, Graham Church. 109, Karen Zeller.
Here.
110, Luis Pedraza. 111, Ronnie Trojanowski. 112, Ben Walsh. 113, Wendy Taylor. 114, Castle Towery.
Here.
115, vacant. 116, vacant. 117, Jeffrey Marshall. 118, vacant. 119, vacant. 120, Sean Nelson. And 121, vacant. So. We have a quorum of 66.
Great. So I am officially calling the meeting to order. We are now prepared to take nominations for election of a new secretary.
I nominate Lana Hort.
I second that.
Who was second?
Clifton,
Thanks, Lauren.
my pleasure.
Are there any, I'm going to ask it 3 times, are there any other nominations for secretary? Are there any other nominations for secretary? Are there any other nominations for secretary? Thank you. And I guess I need to ask Lana, are you willing to serve?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Wow, that was easy. Okay, so we have the agenda in front of you, and as her last act, DJ put the coming events over to the side, so you have dates that you need to record on your calendars. So if you will look the agenda over, excluding the dates, but the real agenda, can I have someone to make a motion to approve the agenda? Sherry Towell.
I'll second.
Oh, she missed it.
Sherry was the motion for agenda?
Right. Who was the second? Daniel Stage.
Okay, so all those that are willing to approve the agenda, please say aye. Aye. Any nays? Seeing none, we're moving on with the agenda as printed. We have the February 26 minutes, which were published on the website. And so does anyone have any adjustments to the February 26 minutes?
Madam Chairman,
We have Judy.
item 8, approval of the January 26 meeting minutes. Under B, the minutes will be amended as indicated. That was on the January 26 minutes, and there are no amended minutes in the January folder. That is correction or information item number 1. A correction that I'd like to offer is under number 9, committee reports. Item B, resolutions. Under committee membership, we were asked by you to contact if we wanted to serve on the resolutions committee. And it says in the minutes that January 30th is when I requested to be on that committee. And I would like it corrected to say it was a text on January 6th and a follow-up email on January 13th, which I received a reply to that the committee had already been seated.
Okay. Can you submit, I see you probably have those all in writing.
I just wrote it on sticky notes, but I can send something to you.
We would appreciate it very much. Thank you. All right. Are there any other corrections to the minutes?
Madam Chairman?
Yes, ma'am.
There are 10 exhibits that are listed and noted in the minutes for the February meeting, and none of those supporting documents are on the website.
Okay. Is there anything else? Okay, seeing nothing else, are you willing to approve the minutes as adjusted? All those, do I have a motion? We have a motion from Allison and a second from Sherry. All those willing to approve the minutes, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, we are moving on. Okay, so We do have a resignation for the, someone who was temporarily heading up the Election Support Committee.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Terry Rendon to be the Election Support Committee Chairman.
Okay.
Terry Sherman, sorry.
Terry Sherman, okay. As the Election Support Committee, and Robert did resign from that position. It was a temporary service that he was doing for the party. So seconds are not necessary for nominations, but are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Oh, y'all are so easy tonight. It's as if y'all went over to the happy hour and had a little happy hour and some cake, and y'all are all happy. This is great. All right, Terry, it's all your baby. Thank you so much for your service. We really appreciate it. I think you wanted to make a few statements.
Please?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I see. You're under the elections. You can do it now.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. I look forward to serving you and the county. So first thing I'd like to do is appoint some help. So I want to appoint Mary Munier and Sally Scott as committee members to help out. I'd also like to make a motion for the chairman to direct the technology committee to add an email address to the current party domain for the election support committee.
So I guess do we vote on that? Okay. So we have a second on that motion. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Buick.
Yes. Are the people that you are nominating for your committee, are they CEC members?
They are not.
They're not, but we have plenty of CEC members that would be able to.
Well, we're trying to get somebody right away because of the election that's coming up right around the corner. And so these folks have agreed to help out with that. So, but we're not closed to having help with that. So I just want to get them in right away and get them started.
Have you asked, did you send out emails to anybody?
No, not as yet. But once we get the email set up, the email address, then I'll be able to take emails regarding the committee.
So then I would like to suggest that we hold off voting for anyone until you do that, so that we can fill it with CEC.
We have a May 2nd election coming up that we need to get busy on. Well, that's up to the CEC, up to the precinct chairs. Yes.
I believe Mary
Robert
is also a headquarters volunteer that's been working on this stuff in the last election, right?
Yes. So this last election at the primary, when the ball got dropped on some different things, we ended up with a long list of names, and those of us who volunteer at the headquarters spent days calling people and asking them to serve. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to step up and volunteer, because I don't want this to happen again. So that's why I asked these two people to help. They've already had experience doing this, and they can jump right in and get busy with us doing that. So if that's agreeable to the CEC. Yes. Okay.
Point of information, Chairman.
Yes.
It takes 3 people, 3 members are required to get to staff a committee under the bylaws, right? And these people have worked on the last election trying to get people when we couldn't get volunteers to help from the CAC. Okay, a lot of people said they weren't willing to help. The people that were running the committee before stepped down and resigned their duties. And so, I think staffing it with people that have already been on it And this has to start tomorrow. We can't wait till the next CEC meeting. We've got to get the ball going, so.
Thank you. Bob Bagley?
Clarification. If we have people that want to join onto the committee tonight, why can't we go ahead and find out who they are and get them on the committee as well instead of waiting? And they can start getting trained right away and be there to help. So if there's a concern to do it, then I think that's the way it ought to happen.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, the chairman generally gets to decide who's going to be on the committees.
So how do we proceed?
Wasn't there a motion? Was it seconded? Okay, so there's a motion, it was seconded, yes.
I don't work on any committees. I need to.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I love that. I am so happy. All right. All right, so now we have 3 people that we're approving to be on this committee. And so I have a motion, and I'm asking all those approving this committee so they can get started for the May election, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, we're moving on. Is there anything else you'd like to report on, Terry?
Yes, one more thing. So as soon as the election support email is set up on the county domain, I will have an email address for you to send information to. So I'm going to be sending out, as soon as that's set up, I'm going to send out an email asking all of you precinct chairs for your election judge information and for your precinct for the May 26th election. So please be looking at your email, and then I need you to be prepared to respond promptly to that. So other than that, thank you very much.
You said May 26th, so you don't have to worry about May 2nd?
Well, we do, but we're going to start with the list, the approved list, but I may be in contact with you about that, so, yes.
Point of information, is it precinct voting or
You can hear.
Is it precinct election or countywide?
I'm actually meeting tomorrow at Election Central, and we're going to have more information on both the May 2nd and on the runoff election.
Election Central. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your service. So moving ahead to committee chair reports, we have the vacancy committee.
Good evening. The vacancy committee met on March 31st, and we interviewed for precincts 22 and 119. And I wanted to call those people up here. So it's y'all come at the same time. David Scott for precinct 22 and Mike Evanger for 119. So I'm going to let David speak first. We'll start with precinct 22. Just let him tell you a little bit about himself.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Good.
All right, well, I'm David Scott. I've lived in Montgomery County, actually in the same house in precinct 22 for about 25 years. Montgomery County over 30 years. This is my first foray into this stuff. I sat at home and griped and complained and voted and supported, but never got into it before, so I'm ready. I've got a lot to learn from you guys, and I'm excited about doing it, and honored to be able to serve and, you know, make some kind of difference for the people that I live around. Thank you very much.
So the vacancy committee, we are recommending David Scott by acclamation to be appointed for precinct 22. So we can take a vote on that.
Sorry. Okay, do we have anyone that, or we have to take motions? No, it's coming out of committee, okay. So all those in favor of David Scott, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And we are not seeing any, so you are it. Thank you so much.
Next we have Michael Evanger from precinct 119.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Evanger. I'm actually a new resident of Texas. I moved here about 3 years ago. I was previously a precinct captain in Washington State. Yeah, so involved in the 2016 and 2015 elections. So yeah, and I was precinct captain for 2 years there. So, but I'm really excited to be here, and yeah, I would just love to represent my area. Thank you.
And so the vacancy committee is recommending Michael Evanger by acclamation to be appointed for precinct chair 119.
Okay, all those in favor of Michael Evanger, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, so we have 2 new precinct chairs. I'm so proud.
So now we would like to welcome Representative Steve Toth. He's going to come up here to swear in our new precinct chairs.
Okay.
This is the oath of the Montgomery County Republican precinct chairs. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. It's a tough one, I know. I will fulfill the duties required of the Montgomery County precinct chair. Actually, I'm screwing this up. You're just supposed to say yes or no. I made it difficult. I'm sorry. I will abide by the duly adopted bylaws of the current biennium. I have read the preamble and the principles of the Republican Party of Texas and support them.
Yes.
I will support only non-censured Republican candidates in the general election.
Yes.
With engagement, with agreement to this oath and the confirmation of the county the executive committee to pronounce you the precinct chair of your precincts. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you both. You have your booklet now that tells you everything that you should possibly want to know, and you may take your seat in the center part.
Watch the videos on the website.
All right, so we already had the election. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I need to finish up my report.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
So we've had 3 resignations since the last meeting. Billy Jordan resigned for precinct 22, which we just appointed David Scott to. And precinct 78, Keith Wagner resigned. And I wanted to highlight him. He served for, I think he told me 34 years as precinct chair. Can y'all imagine that? Anyway, he's great, but he accepted another elected position, so he's going to, focus on that. And then Anna Wynn resigned from precinct 100. So our remaining vacancies are 41, 57, 78, 79, 100, 101, 115, 116, 118, and 121. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
That is probably the most vacancies that I ever remember Montgomery County having. Okay, so I already did the election support committee, so we're moving forward to the communications committee. Where'd she go? Oh, there she is. Oh, no report today. Thank you. That was easy. Now we're moving to the resolutions.
The Resolutions Committee met on Thursday, April 2nd at 6 p.m. to review one resolution. All CEC members should have received a copy when signing in today. The resolution we considered is titled, it's up here on the board, it's titled Resolution in Support of a New Montgomery County Courthouse. The committee discussion included concerns regarding potential tax implications and whether this matter is appropriate for consideration as a party position. After discussion and careful consideration, the committee voted unanimously to not recommend adopting this resolution.
Okay.
But it is appropriate at this time if any CEC member would like to move forward with this resolution, you're able to do that now.
So we can take motions from the floor. Could you give us a little more information of why you did not think it was appropriate? Just 1 minute. Why you did not think it was appropriate?
Our committee was concerned with potential tax increase, and we didn't feel as a Republican Party that would be something that we want to put our stamp of approval behind any potential tax increase. Now, each individual person can back this if they would like to, obviously.
Okay.
That was pretty much the consensus.
Madam Chairman, I'm going to debate this before we move forward. I can't hear you.
I couldn't hear you.
We're not going to debate this.
You have to make
a motion. I make a motion that we debate the motion.
Well, there hasn't actually been a motion yet for this. If any CEC member wants to make a motion regarding this, they are able to.
I made a motion that the CEC approve this resolution.
Second.
So we can move forward with debate.
Judy Thomas, I believe. Okay, so we do have a motion and we have a second. Is there any discussion before we vote to move forward, just to decide to have debate on the motion? Yes, sir.
As the chairman, make a motion that we debate this resolution.
Okay, and that will come. Yes, we will. I'm sorry. I joke with him all the time because I tell him I do not speak Australian. So he has to speak East Texan, which is what I speak. But anyway, he just wants to have the debate. So yes, sir.
So there's 3 printouts out there. They look a little different. Are they all the same? They're just. Which one is it?
What's the question? What's the question right here?
There's 3 different printouts up there. I want to know, are they all the same? Or are they, which one are voting
Yes, these are exactly the same. The only difference on the bottom, if you see, one of them says on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we're not that. So this is the other. That's the only difference. Okay, the very bottom.
All right. So we're ready to go into debate. We will have. The maximum we will allow is 3 for and 3 against. Anyway, someone's phone. 3 for and 3 against. And so if you would like to speak on this resolution, would y'all mind if we allowed we have the judge here that would like to say a few words? Would y'all allow her to speak as a guest?
Yes.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All those approving say aye.
Aye.
Any disapproving? Okay, so she's going to come forward and speak just a few minutes, and then we will have the 3 for and 3 against and the vote. Yes.
So Brett says start with a joke. I'm at a loss right now though, so thanks for allowing me to speak. I didn't know about I just found out last night that we were doing this, and so we didn't know about the committee meeting and all that stuff. And actually what I was going to come tell y'all tonight before we got to this point was that when we asked to do this, we were asking to kind of bump the commissioners off the seat and kind of get them moving on it, because we had been talking to y'all and everybody for about a year and 2 months. And then miraculously, they did it on their own before we got to this point, and they have actually approved a site. So I just wanted to give you all an update from the last time we were here. They've approved a site right outside that window, so y'all will know exactly where it is. And so that doesn't mean they're going to build it. What it means is to get architectural plans that give you an actual dollars and cents figure to be able to then know how do we pull this off without hopefully having a tax increase if that's possible. You have to have the site approved because the building will be configured per the site restrictions. And then once you get there, then you have to pick the finishes and the screws and what it looks like, and that all affects price, just like it would for a house. So I thought we would be on the pause button at this point, because what I was going to say is, now that we're there, let us bring you those numbers, let us bring you those financing options so you do know the tax implication. Maybe now y'all could do a resolution to approve. We're happy that y'all are getting to the next step. We, need to know more before we can get totally on board. We did have some engineers finally come through the main courthouse, and if you saw the presentation about all the stuff, all the problems, they confirmed it all. It's a life, health, and safety hazards. It's severely overcrowded. And I know we don't like tax increases. I live here too. I don't like tax increases. But I also think as Republicans, we need to fund our public buildings so people are not in life safety danger when they walk in. I mean, we look at other states and we see bridges falling. And then what do? Oh, the Democrats didn't get that fixed. When are they going to be pointing at the Montgomery County Courthouse because where's our fire marshal? He's gone, so I can say it. When a fire happens and there are no exits to get out off the upper floors and everybody dies that's inside. So, I mean, we don't have the numbers, but I can tell you that the tax assessor and the treasurer are working fastidiously, running numbers every other way possible to do this with no to low tax implication. With that said, there are 2 realistic financing options, which is a bond. Y'all all know what that looks like. I will tell you the one thing that you may not realize about bond money is that it is not dedicated to what the bond is voted on. So if they say we're going to use, $1 million for roads and you approve it, they do not have to use it for roads. They can use it for whatever they want to. The other, I know, I didn't know this till we started this process. The other option is what's called a public-private partnership, and that is what we have seen other counties that have successfully built courthouses use. And think of it almost like having a corporation secondary to the county, so the financial hit doesn't lay directly on the county, it lays on the private corporation. They go out and get funding from a bank like you would for the mortgage for your house. Then they do draws as the money is needed as the project moves forward. And of course the taxpayers, it's all going to go back to the taxpayers. I'm not going to tell you it's not. But what that does is if the county ever decides, hey, we're not interested in this burden anymore, the county can walk away from it. And then it's almost like a foreclosure on the public, on the private entity, where the bank would just foreclose it and take their asset at that point. And that particular type of financing option the commissioners have to use it because the bank won't just give you money and let you use it for anything. So those are the two options, but again, we will know more about the tax implication later. And I have to say, Adrian, you know I love you.
I love you.
It's all love. So everyone has ideas, right? We could do this, we could do that, we could do this, we could do that. And that's how we got in this position. For 30 years, we've been pasting buildings together. If you've seen the presentation, you understand. A courthouse just isn't an outhouse, someone's building, a broom closet. And we don't need big fancy pie in the sky stuff, but what we do need is dedicated pathways for the inmates to be moved through. We need dedicated places where they can be safely onloaded and offloaded. We need, I'm going to tell you, I'll give you two examples, like within the last week. One of our sweet AJs, she's a sweet, wonderful, bright. She used to work for Brett. Yeah, associate judge. I'm using lingo. She used to work for Brett at the DA's office. And so we hold PC dockets over at the jail, which is where you get your bond set. And so she doesn't have secured parking at the jail. And she's pregnant and she's going over there to do her work. And she doesn't have secured parking over there. And so she comes out and the very inmates that she has set their bonds are leaning on her car as she's walking out to come back to the courthouse. So there are more considerations. Adrian, I know you have some ideas about the Symphony building. That has been taken. The sheriff is going to be using that for pedophiles to go do their check-in and their registration. And that is being done because right now they're slotted to go into the same building with the CPS kids. That's not going to happen. I saw your post last night about move everything out of the Keyshan building and put it in the Lone Star. And so here's the thing, everything has been moved out of the Keyshan building. We're moving 2 new courts in there. The Court of Appeals, jury processing, and the OAG court are all now going to share the same space on top of each other. The things that are in the bottom of that building, you can't put courts down there. Number one, it doesn't have bulletproof glass. You're point blank for someone to walk right up to any of the windows and shoot. Number two, you need separated bathroom facilities for your jury, your parties, the public. They can't be in there pottying together. I can't believe we're talking about this. But the problem is the foundation in that building already has the plumbing. It's hard set. So we can adjust plumbing on the second floor, but to adjust it on the first floor, then you're having to get jackhammers and retrofit. And we're building just 2 courtrooms in there right now. They've been working on it for months. They've had to move 11 departments. And it was $55,000 just to talk about it. We haven't even gotten floor plans, and they're supposed to be in there by August to open the new court that the legislature just created. And we need 8 more. And like I've always said, the judges are being given an A+. We need over 25 courts. We have far fewer than that. And we're all still up at way over a nice 90% disposition rate on your cases. So your judges are there, they're working, they're handling the caseload, and we will continue to do that. We're going to keep doing that. But what we're telling you is at some point, it does crumble. You do have criminal cases having to get sweetheart deals to get out. And you want to talk about a crowded jail? You can house everybody in the whole county in the jail. You can build 50 of them. If you don't have courtrooms to put them through, where are you going to go? We're going to look just like Harris County. So I appreciate y'all letting me talk to you. If you have any questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability. But I'm just going to tell you, during this process, y'all know Kristen. Y'all, she's been threatened, she's been cussed, she's been lied to, she's been harassed. And she has still laid the course. And I guarantee you, she is not walking out here going through this for something that's just, oh, there's an easy fix for it, because she has suffered personally greatly. And honestly, that is one of the main reasons I crawled on board, was to kind of be, the mean cop for her, because I got sick of seeing how she was getting treated. So she's not here tonight. I wouldn't have said that with her here, because she'd be hitting. Oh my gosh. All right, so I saw a couple of hands. Yes, sir.
The Honorable Judge.
Yes, sir. Just Claudia. I'm good. It's fine.
Recommending a vote of yes or a motion to table until you receive the
He was saying, am I recommending a vote of yes, or am I recommending to table it?
Until the report.
Right. So what I'm saying, of course, I would love a vote of yes, but being responsible and understanding that the situation has now changed, where we know we are now going to get solid numbers. I'm sorry. You ask yours, and then I'll answer it all at once.
I'm going to make a motion to table this because.
Motion on the floor, and I made the motion, and if I could have a chance, I would like to say why I made the motion, and also then to withdraw the motion. And the emotion. So if I could go ahead and say that.
I think we're back to procedural stage. I'm just going to exit stage right.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you.
All right, I made the motion because when I first heard the judge's presentation on the courthouse, I was really excited about it, and I thought this is something we need to do. And I've actually chatted with a few people about how could we possibly get some nonprofit funding in this, a foundation, to help assist, however a foundation could possibly assist, so that people could, in the county, could have a sense of buying in by contributing to the foundation. In addition to, we all know that public buildings are going to be built with tax dollars and maintained with tax dollars. We know that. But I was very moved by the judge's presentation, and I thought that this was definitely something the county needed to do. And so I'm very happy to withdraw my motion with the proviso that once we have more information available to us, then we will have another presentation and reconsider this motion at that time. So.
Okay. Okay, yes, I see you, yes. Yes.
When the original.
No, it's Quentin. I'm sorry, Judy. It's Quentin.
Everything they said I think is right, but for us to make a decision on something that we really don't see the numbers, is we table this. Let's table this. That's my motion. Is to table this until we get some hard numbers.
What we just said.
Nobody said that. I said, nobody said it.
She withdrew it.
She withdrew it, but you didn't say you tabled it.
No, I said.
So you're just withdrawing it all together?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and so,
We can always break it.
Point of information.
okay, yes, Judy.
The committee made the recommendation that we vote no. Was that committee decision unanimous, that they wanted us to vote against it? Is that?
Well, they did not recommend it forward. So that was unanimous, I do believe. Yes. So they are not recommending that we go forward. There was a motion, we go forward, which she has now withdrawn. So at this point, we're ready to move on, except for Mr. Baker has something.
I have just a point of inquiry. I was wondering if I could ask the private.
Could you speak a little louder? I'm sorry.
The public-private organization. What did you call it? Partnership, public-private. Does that require a vote, like a bond does?
So that would be considered not a resolution, I can never, Kristen always has these good words right on her tongue. But no, legally, it is not legal to be able to vote on it. Even if it were the better option, it's not legal to vote on that option. For the public-private partnership.
So just the county commissioners would vote on it?
Just the county commissioners would vote on it, yes.
All right, thank you.
Point of order.
Yes, sir, speak real loud.
Because our motion was made and seconded, it can't be withdrawn unless it's withdrawn without objection or with a vote.
Well, do we have objections?
I object. I want to debate the.
I vote points of order.
I put a motion to table.
Okay, well, the parliamentarian suggests that someone might want to call the question.
He's already made a motion.
I've already made a motion to table.
I second the motion.
But it was not seconded. Okay, what was could you repeat your, Quentin, could you repeat your motion?
My motion is to table this until we can get some numbers. Okay? So we're going to table. We can't table.
All right, and we have this gentleman back here. Could you give your name that you did the second?
Alex Shandell.
Precinct.
Precinct.
All right, all those in favor of tabling the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
And that was even in Australian. Okay, great. I call that for the ayes, and we will table that motion and bring it forward in the future. And could the resolution committee, please, when you're discussing it at some time, could you call the judges so they can speak to you and give you more information? That will be helpful. So does the resolution committee have any other items they'd like to bring forward? Your report is finished. Yes, ma'am. Susan.
Point of information, do we know the time frame with the county commissioners for when they're going to have these numbers for us?
Time frame, she was asking about time frame. So they've got to put out the advertisement to get the architects. They have to hire the architects, and then it's going to take several months for the drawings. So it'll be a while. We'll be well outside the election cycle. But we will keep you informed and let you know when we have more info.
Well, we really thank you for the information that you gave us here tonight. Yes, Robert Walker.
So the tabling will occur next biennium, basically, it sounds like?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds like it.
She's not going to have no obligation.
Okay. So, are there any other committees that would like to report? Did you have a report?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Judge Laird.
All right. Okay, so unfortunately, as you know, we have an election on, not unfortunately, fortunately, we have an election on May 2nd, and we know the special election for the Senate District 4, but also we have all of our usual nonpartisan elections on May 2nd. And because of all of the energy that was required for the primary, the Candidates Committee did not meet and consider these nonpartisan elections. So I don't really have recommendations for the CEC regarding endorsements. But what I do have is some candidates for MUD positions who have requested that their names be given to the CEC and that precinct chairs, if they are interested in helping these individuals help, with their campaigns and so forth, or this happens to be your particular MUD. And so I've prepared a memorandum for the CAC tonight, and it simply lists for MUD 6, MUD 7, and MUD 36 the candidates who personally asked me to bring information to the CAC and who I have personally vetted with respect to their voting history. So if you're interested in helping any of these individuals, also you can contact Dave Smith, and you can ask him about his slate. And I believe Amy Van Horn, who's on my list, also, she wants to say a few words about Dave Smith's slate that he is putting forward for mud elections. And then Ann Kate would like to speak for a second about the Montgomery ISD, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Amy Van Horn, running for Mud District 6, Mud District 6 meet. I just want to read you all the people on the candidates first slate that are running. Some districts, there's no one running because there's no Democrats to get rid of. And the reason why we're running is these Democrats voted last year to like double our water rates by making this real expensive state-of-the-art new sewer system of the Woodlands, which we don't need. Okay, these are the people, if you live in these muds. Mud 1, George Oberdorf and Bobby Joe Hughes. 6, Dusty Best and Amy Van Horn. 7, Brad Hout, Tom Costello, Jack Munick. 36, Naomi Southern, Michael Johnson. 67, Mike Quinn. 67, Kelly Rumps. 67, Christine Townsend. So if you're not on this list, y'all don't even have an election. So. But go anyway and vote for Brett.
Thank you, Amy. Very good. Okay, so was there someone else? I can't remember. Oh, Ann.
There are 3 seats up for election on the Montgomery ISD School Board. 2 of them are unopposed. The other, however, has a known Democrat running against a Republican. Matt Mitchell is running for that seat. His opponent and her husband have voted in the Democrat primary the last 2 times. This last election and the one in 24. She also, on her, I believe it's her, not Facebook, but Instagram. That other one, Instagram, has photos of her with the trans people, and she supports the children, trans children, and the photos are quite interesting, but I think that we really should get behind Matt Mitchell. He is a former precinct chair and has voted in the Republican primary and helped get Republicans elected. So I make a motion. Robert?
Is that the same Matt Mitchell that sued precinct chairs?
They weren't actually precinct chairs.
Well, would you rather have the Democrat win?
I thought you mentioned that there were 3. I thought you mentioned there were 3.
There's 3 seats. There's 3 seats. This seat has a Republican and a Democrat. Yes, he was involved in the lawsuit, which could have been stopped. I'm not going to get into an argument, but that's over with. And your choice is Matt Mitchell or a Democrat. If you want to just sit on your hands, then you're supporting a Democrat.
Okay, so you said something about a motion. What were you making a motion?
Denise?
Well, the committee cannot make a motion because our rules require us to meet and vet the candidates and then all arrive at a consensus that we're going to recommend an endorsement. So we, as a group, cannot do that. The CEC can decide to endorse people if they want to.
Okay, I'll throw it out there. I make a motion that we support Matt Mitchell for the Montgomery ISD School Board.
I second.
I
I second. Marlisa Stripling, precinct 11. I also, point of information, or I'm not sure what I say, but
Speak loud.
I knew Jenny when she was 17. I personally knew her, so I ran into her. I think she's in her 30s now, but I talked to her.
I can't hear you.
I talked to her at the election, and she personally told me she was a Democrat. So it's not a question if she's a Democrat. She is definitely a Democrat.
Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second. All those that would like to endorse Matt Mitchell, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay. Good.
All right, we have to do a standing vote. I'm sorry, I just could not choose between the two. So, and if I would have, y'all would have yelled division. So, anyway, standing vote. All those in favor? No, you don't get to. All the precinct chairs that are in favor of endorsing Matt Mitchell, please stand. Who's counting?
One. No, say number 2. Say the number.
You have to say it.
Three, 4,
5,
6,
7.
If you want to, you can call for one.
8.
You're 7.
7.
Go ahead.
8.
9.
10,
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19,
20.
21.
22, 23,
24.
25,
26. 27.
28,
29. 30.
31.
Okay, so that is 31.
32.
Oh, 32, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. 32 that have, for 4. So all those opposed?
Say the number and sit down.
4, 5, 6,
7,
8, 9, 10, 11,
12. 13. 14. 15. 16.
Okay. Okay, so the motion carries. Thank you for not making it any closer than it is. So for 32 against 16. So we will be, as the Republican, yes ma'am, Donna.
Be on record as abstaining.
Okay. Can you record that? Okay, so,
all of the people who have.
are there any other abstaining? Oh, shoot. All right. Y'all, you started something, Donna. All right. Y'all been getting enough cake. All right, let's count the people who are abstaining.
1.
2, 3, 4, 5,
6. 7. 8.
9, 10,
11.
13,
14. 15.
16.
17. 18.
All right, so we have 18 that abstained, but the motion still carries. And so as a party, we are endorsing Matt Mitchell. So, are there any other business that is in the committee reports? Yes.
Very quickly, I've heard it said that we do not have any training program. We spent a lot of time building 3 separate videos, and they're online, they're at our website, and those who watched them, liked them, said they helped a lot. So those of you who say we don't have any training programs, how about going online and looking at the videos that are there for you to watch? It's a good introduction. It's basics, but for new precinct chairs, it gives you a start and an understanding of how we do our business. So if you would, please take a look.
Okay, and that does not even include, or maybe it does, the state precinct chair training. Is it included in those three?
No.
Okay, that's on our website also, the state precinct chair training, which I do recommend if there are new precinct chairs that are going to be taking office in June, that you definitely take advantage of that and check it all out before you come into the organization meeting.
Herschel, tell them where they can find it, because maybe some of these people don't know where to look.
Okay. You go down to the CEC login, okay, and you get the login from the secretary. She'll give you the password. But that's all you do. Log in and you scroll down. It's like the second thing down. When you scroll, you'll see these, video squares, and it'll tell you. You click on them and watch them. One of them's 11 minutes, and the other one's like 10 minutes. It's not complicated, but it'll sure help you.
Yes, Quentin.
I think maybe like a little cheat sheet to hand out to people would be really good, helpful. Because, to be honest, when you walk out of here, you're going to forget what Herschel said.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Elizabeth Ricard, Precinct 58, and I am the marketing chair, and I know I haven't done a very good job this year, but I hope y'all will give me another chance. If I could do a quick report, I wasn't planning on...
Yes, ma'am. I thought you were going to do a report, and I was hinting that you would come forward.
All right, so Elizabeth Ricard, and let me just pull this up really quickly. There's a lot on here. I sat down last night, and I was thinking, what could we do after this last election that was just, I think a lot of us would just like to leave behind. But really what's happening and what I've heard from quite a few voters and a lot of people that I don't know that have just been asking about the Republican Party is they were really discouraged to see so much infighting. And it does need to stop, guys. And I have been new to this now for 2 years, and I know all of y'all know this already, and some things are hard to leave behind, but we need to find a way to move behind. So there are 3 points that I want to focus on, if y'all give me the chance again, to help the party. 1 is turnout. We need to get our turnout up. 2 is trust, because people don't know which voter guides to go to, who to talk to. We need to build that trust up again in the Republican Party. And 3 is our volunteer growth. We are missing great opportunities to tap into younger kids. And after everything that happened with Charlie, we're missing out on this opportunity. So if you would like, and I hope to God that some of y'all who have great ideas and maybe don't have the creative touch or something, to come and join the marketing group, communications, and really help. Let's get some ideas. Let's start working together again. And we need to focus, like Mr. Liggins said, we need to focus on getting Republicans elected, period. We cannot have the Democrats win, period. So let's work together. If you want to join this committee, please contact me, Elizabeth Ricard, at gmail.com. I'm on the website. You don't have to go into the CEC to see that. But please look on there. I want to grow our group. I know we're limited in number, but for the next time, I would like to present, names, a good, strong group of people, and I will vet y'all because we need to. I don't want the fighting anymore, guys. We need to work together. So anyway, so those are the 3 points that we're going to focus on. I've got ideas. I have 3 pages. If you're interested, I'll send them to you. Look it over. And let me know what you think, because really this is what we need to focus on, and I'm hoping we can move forward. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Yes. We have a question here?
Yes. I want to put my name on the copy for this.
Woo-hoo, what a volunteer you are tonight. I am happy. Why?
I feel like I'm a little out there. At the
pre-elections, at the early elections, I'm by myself. Come on.
All right, great, thank you. Okay, I think I saw maybe a hand over here. Okay, no hands. All right, any other committee reports? Where's Pete Steves? I thought he was, oh, are you gonna say something?
Well, I didn't intend to, but I'm going to send out an email about how to do the reporting on the scam emails coming out, to report them to the Texas Attorney General's office, in other places. Just have to get the instructions written up for everybody. Okay?
All right, that's great, because everybody keeps saying, oh, we get these more of these emails. I'm sorry, they're not me. Mine are pretty, you can tell my emails. They have a very distinct little thing at the bottom. I guess that's called my signature, and you can tell that's me. All those others are not me. Okay, so no other committee reports. We're moving on. Officer reports. Vice Chair.
Besides the election and getting the payroll out, I have no other report.
Lewis has done a magnificent job. It was really very challenging. I just want to say this was our first time to get, I want to say get stuck, but I don't want to use that. That's negative sounding. This was our first attempt to get the checks out as part of the primary process, and I just want to say it has been a monumental job, and Lewis has done a good job. We learned a few things along the way, so we're going to get better at this as we go along. But I know there were a few little hiccups here and there, but they really were very small compared to the volume of checks. I want to say we sent out over 700 checks, and so it was a bunch. And so,
and there's more to come, by the way.
And there's more. We still haven't done the ballot board yet, and we'll be doing that for the runoff also. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I know that you don't choose your horn a lot, but I wanted you to tell the CAC why y'all decided to write the hand check from our party.
We made this decision, which I feel like was forced on me, because this is the first time that we went to the primary process since the county went to pace setter. The SOS would not reimburse the party for the amount of the pace setter charges. So I cannot, I know DJ doesn't work for us anymore, but I know she knows that percentage. What percentage was it?
47%.
47% charge on each and every check. So I decided that I did not want the party paying that kind of money out for pace setter. So we did tackle the project of writing these checks. It actually is, in the long run, if the party is going to close the primary, and eventually, I know some people want to talk about taking over the primary, which, believe me, I am not for, but with those items coming down the pipe, maybe in the future, this was a good first step. So it was a good learning process to realize just how much work it was. So ever since the election, we had to take the raw data that came in from each election judge. It was very poorly written. I'm just going to make that very clear. Most of the errors had to do with, I can't understand it. To me, if you are doing your timesheet, my head would be like, oh, this is my timesheet. My timesheet means this is how I'm going to get paid. So I would be very careful in filling that out, but that was not the case. I think everybody waited to do that timesheet right at the end of the day, and they were like, I want to go home. I'm sick and tired of this stuff, and they were rushing out the door, and they scribbled that thing down, and that was where most of the problems that poor Lewis had to wind up calling nearly every person. We're talking 700 to 800 people, and asking them, what did you write down here? And there were a few little errors, which, like I say, for that volume has been very minor so far. So that's the monumental task that he did. And then DJ hand wrote all those checks. I signed every one of those checks. The people that were working in the office folded all those little letters and all those envelopes, and all that stuff was mailed out. So they have all been mailed out except for the ballot board, which, like I say, has been a ton of work. So we're going to try to figure out some ways to streamline that down the road. Did that answer all the questions? Probably more than you really wanted to know. Okay, so treasurer report.
Real quickly, just point out the balance currently is $85,637, and that's all I got.
Any questions of the treasurer? Seeing none, I don't know why, but DJ, knowing that she was not the secretary, didn't put the secretary down on the agenda, and so she didn't give Lana a spot. But I'm going to ask Lana if she has anything she'd like to say.
Thank you to Greg Parker for running the computer.
And thank you, Lana, for stepping forward. And I think for your first time through, you've done a pretty good job. So thank you very much. Good of the order. Aha, here he comes. Please speak slow, Australian.
Madam Chairman, thank you. Members, thank you for a few minutes. I want to talk about the courthouse. I know you all have a lot more experience than I do of being Republicans, and I respect that, but I know that you believe in limited government. I know that you believe in the maxim of trust but verify. Now, we rightly give great deference to our judges, and I do too. And I ask you all, and my colleague here brought up an issue, he's leaving, don't leave. He's leaving.
I just said table it. That's all we want to do is see the numbers.
I'm with you. I'm with you about getting the data. Anyway, well, it's okay. I just wanted to say we need data. Just like my colleague said, we need to see the data. And I'm living dangerously. I've upset our two affectionately revered judges, Judge Laird and Judge Bays, by asking questions. They even took down their Facebook because I was asking questions, and apparently they didn't like the tone of my questions. But you know what? We show deference when we're in their courtroom, and we're polite and we show them respect, but we have to ask those tough questions about their big ask. And, I have a few points here. Please bear with me, and I'll try and be as quick as I can. But I really don't believe that the judges, the Board of Judges, have made their case. As insiders, the Board of Judges have failed to properly make a case for the courthouse project. This request for an affirming resolution, which we were talking about, is premature. But the request for the courthouse is premature in terms as far as the voters are concerned, for many reasons, including the cost the claims about the condition, the claims about the capacity, the caseload, and more. We're being asked to believe that the grounds are manicured and kept outside, but the courthouse is crumbling inside.
Point of order. Shouldn't this be part of the discussion about that we just tabled?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I mean, we can have pros and cons arguments at that time.
So what's the purpose of this time? What is the purpose of this time?
It's not the good of the order at this point.
What is the good of the order? Please explain it to me.
Put it on the agenda.
It was tabled, it's not on the agenda. Therefore, it's not the good of the order.
What's the good of the order then? What is it for?
The good of the order is to discuss things that have not been tabled as this motion was.
To discuss things that have not been tabled? Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes. So how
Can't hear you.
Microphone. We can't hear you, Gwen.
How many more minutes do you think your presentation is?
2 minutes.
2 minutes more? Okay. Well, do y'all think y'all can stand 2 minutes more of listening to a fellow precinct chair? But before we start on that, Robert Walker.
Point of order. During the good of the order, anybody in the CAC has the ability to come up and talk about anything that they want uninterrupted. And that's what the good of order is about.
Yes, thank you. So we're all gonna, please maintain your silence and give deference to our speaker. He's gonna have 2 minutes more to discuss the courthouse.
I don't trust the Commissioners Court to properly administer the funds for a new courthouse for $185 million. They went around the bulk of the voters on a $480 million bond vote. They're going to be pushing another $250 million for a courthouse, and then probably another $250 million for a jail pretty soon.
$600 million.
Or more.
The judge,
Well,
the court, the
thank you.
new jail is $600 million.
Thank you. So, you know, I've lived in this county more than half of my life, and I've seen nothing but grow government. They didn't make their case about space. There's a lot of unused space in the county, I believe. And I think we need to find out exactly how much unused space there is. They could clear out, it wasn't the building that Judge Laird mentioned, but the one across the street, the old administration building, could be cleaned out and you could move employees down to the Lone Star Centre. That's not the role of government anyway, and put our employees down there and have that dedicated to a courthouse. The claims about the condition are very emotionally enhanced by the vendor in the report. And I asked, apparently there's been 6 reports for $87,000 and we're not allowed to see one, they're classified. Well, we need to be able to see them. It's not acceptable that these studies that we funded are not open to our voters in Montgomery County. So please set aside your emotional view of the courthouse and analyse it and look, ask for numbers, ask for justification. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Within his 2 minutes. Okay, continuing with good of the order. We have another.
Greetings, Jeff Zedlar, Precinct 84. I'm wondering if there has ever been anything that we've all agreed on besides supporting Brett Ligon.
Don't put it up there.
The sky is blue. All in favor? Say aye. So, as a writer and artist, what I am concerned about is where our creative energy goes. And I've sat back and I'm kind of adding on to what Elizabeth said, which is, can we find something that we can all get behind? I doubt it, but we should try. And as an example, Lori Clifton and Lori supported Scott Baker, I supported Gwen. worked on the Bob Harvey campaign. Not that that succeeded, but we worked together, and I learned a lot from Lori. And I want more of that, because everybody here has something creative and wonderful to add. And we need to find that for the good of all of us. And I know it's not easy, I know it sounds ideal, and I know it can be naive, but we need to try. So I think one example is what was mentioned earlier, which is James Tallarico. And I want to send out a survey collecting the creative ideas from everybody here, if they're willing to participate. Because when I think about him, and I read his quotes and I read his story, I'm like, we have to beat this guy.
Yeah.
And we're going to need everybody. Both sides. Okay, so that's it. I'll be working on that. I'm also on the marketing committee. You can help me form questions, but whatever it takes to win. We're always going to have differences. That's fine. You know, I have differences with, you know, people on my side and everybody else. Doesn't matter. Just keep going. Just keep talking to each other. That's all we can do. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Scott Baker.
All right, I make it a habit of reviewing the sample ballots up and down so I can try and inform people. And I've come across something that I think y'all should be aware of. I can't actually vote on it because it's not in my, I'm not in this district, but I think you should be aware of page number 6 on the sample ballot that's posted on the election website is the Montgomery County Water Control and Improvement District number 6. I can't actually find much information about this, but by my estimation, the propositions A through G would amount to approximately $840 million in bonds for projects, as well as Proposition H, which is a tax increase for operation and maintenance tax not to exceed $1.50 per $100. If anybody can, I know Adrian, you found a little bit more information than I did even, but there's not a whole lot of information about this. As far as I can tell, it's a defunct water district that's now being revived. I can't even tell where it is. There's no website and there's very little information, but it's almost $1 billion in debt that somebody's going to be on the hook for. So if you would like to go online and look at your own ballot, your sample ballot that's for your precinct and for your area, and find out if you're on it, you might want to get out and maybe stir up a few voters to vote for or against $840 million worth of debt.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Amy, is that yours?
6. Miss Buick?
Water control district. Oh, not the mud. Different.
No, it's not a mud. It's not a mud.
Road district.
Well, you were called next.
Stacy Buick, Precinct 38. In the spirit of unity in our group, I would like to clarify that I can't speak for every Republican women's group in Montgomery County. There are 7, but I can speak for 3, which is Liberty Bells, North Shore, and Lake Conroe. And they did not, under any circumstances, boycott any fundraiser. There were a variety of reasons that people didn't buy tickets. I'm sure that most of it was $250 per ticket, but they did not collectively boycott at all. Thank you.
Okay. My next statement.
Miss Amy?
I was condemned for going to that.
Whoa.
Not from those 3 groups.
Well, from people at those groups, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they would like to say? Oh, we have Miss Betty. Y'all are very talkative tonight. Too much cake.
Well, I've done a little bit of homework on this upcoming election on May 2nd, and I appreciate Scott Baker standing up and speaking about this Water Control and Improvement District number 6. And Adrian probably has a whole lot more information than I do. In fact, I wanted to talk to him tonight, but I've actually put on paper the sample ballot for May 2, which includes State Senator District 4, Brett Ligon, but at the very, very top. But it's my understanding that in that district that Scott Baker is talking about, this water control improvement district, I'm not sure if there are very many people registered in that district. I have 5 people listed as on the ballot. Adrian, am I right? Is this one of the ones that...
Yes, well, the directors don't live anywhere near the district. There'll be 2 voters that vote for those directors.
Yes. No, it says you can vote for 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You can vote for as many as 5 in that election. Then there are some other. There are several other. It's actually new developments, right? Adrian, come up here. You know more than I do. This has been going on for years and years, and it's shocking to me that we have almost $2 billion in these new developments, and they move people into, some of these people, they actually move into register to vote. And okay.
Well, you know, I went to the DA about the November election, where there are companies that recruit people to vote in these mud districts, and they reuse the same people over and over again. So there's 2 voters that'll be in a temporary building or an old building or something, and they're voting for 5 directors that could live anywhere in Texas. They just have to be voting age and live in the state of Texas. That's all that's required.
And we're talking about bond after bond after bond. There's like the one that Scott Baker was talking about. There's a Proposition H, it goes up to H, and they divide up all of this money, all of this bond money into different sections. And when you look at the lower numbers, you think, well, that's not okay, all right. Then you look at the next Proposition C. Okay, that's $149 million. Proposition D is $148 million. I mean, and you add it all up, and just in that one district, we're talking about $800 million. You know, you're getting up to $1 billion there, and that's, yeah.
So I just want to add one thing. The voters that are being moved in are really violating the new law. I know you're all a fan of SB 1111, where they changed the voter laws, and the residence law was changed from a common law principle to a strict prohibition that says that you're prohibited from moving into a district for the purpose of influencing an election. End of story. And by definition, these people are being recruited to go into the district. They don't really live there, and they are being recruited to vote affirmatively for these bonds. That's a violation of the SB 111, and it's also a violation of the penal code about bribery. It says that it's an offence to offer anybody anything of value in exchange for their vote. And these people are brought in as employees, given cheap rent or something of value to go there, otherwise they wouldn't go there. And they're voting affirmatively.
These addresses for 6 months?
Pardon me, ma'am?
You have to have 6 months or so.
Well, no, to vote in the state of Texas, just 30 days residency is a requirement. That's all.
Yes. We have a precinct chair that has a question.
You yield for a question?
Talk real loud.
Sure, sorry. I, future state senator, know some people in the DA. This sounds like a major crime. Maybe you'd be able to help us.
Can I add one more thing and then I'll be silent? A few years back, when the Montgomery County MUD 130 and 131, north and south of 1488, where the Audubon is now, they're called Audubon MUDs. Those voters were renter voters, and complaints were filed by members of this body and sent to the Secretary of State at the time. And the Secretary of State at the time referred them to the AG for criminal investigation, and they just disappeared, went down a black hole. That's what happens.
Can the county DA prosecute that?
Yes, the county DA can prosecute it with a complaint from, an investigation by a complaint by two or more voters.
Okay, on our May 2 ballot for Montgomery County, the overall sample ballot, there are 5 of these kind of MUD districts that are on the ballot. And I understand too that there are more that aren't even on this ballot, and I don't know how that can happen, but this is the way that they start up new developments, and I don't know. I think I need to get a new job. I need to be a developer, and I'll contribute to the new courthouse if you elect me. Anyway, I'm just trying to wake up the sleeping giant because none of those 5 are going to be on your ballots. You're not registered to vote for any of those. So you can go, it's real easy. You can go Montgomery County website, the elections website. You can just punch the major sample ballot for Montgomery County, and you can scroll all the way down. It's 20 pages. I reduced it down to 3 because I cut out a lot of garbage and I cut out all the Spanish. So,
Betty, so did the commissioners put this on the ballot? I mean, how did this get on the ballot?
I don't know. I think each one of these districts.
I think that
the district is a unit of government, and it contracts with the county elections.
So some of that money's going to pay for the election, that some of the money that they're getting off these bonds, right, is going to go to pay for the election, which filing for the election.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, golly. Anyway, it just seems like such... Anyway, I just want to let y'all know because y'all are precinct chairs. The average voter out there has no idea what's going on.
DJ.
Betty.
Yeah.
You said you didn't know how some of that there are more MUDs that are not on the ballot. They can hold their own election privately without going through the county.
That's what I found out
too. They'll usually have it at some obscure location that nobody knows where it is. And maybe they'll get 1 or 2 votes to pass an $800 million.
Well, I'm a tattletale, so.
All right. Thank you. All right. I'm almost scared to ask, are there any other good of the orders? Oh, okay. Ms. Kim.
After all of the talk about unity, we have witnessed the nastiest primary ever. And I would like to make a motion to decouple for the Republican Party to decouple with the Republican women's groups in Montgomery County. So I'll.
Okay, Robert Walker has Robert Walker seconded it?
Point of order. Doesn't this belong in new business?
Did we, okay, you may want to wait. Did we finished good of the order, and I was fixing to go to new business, but Kim beat me, jumped the gun, and she's making a motion.
I can go ahead and speak for it.
Okay, we had a motion and a second, and we're going to have 3 for and 3 against in discussion. So she's got to start with the 4.
I have a point of information. What do you mean by decouple? We are not a part of the party.
Well, the Republican women's groups, they expect us to put their events on our calendar.
No. The calendar is only for Republican women. We weren't allowed to put it on the regular calendar. We have one on some page, very difficult to find. Go ahead.
Well, it shouldn't be
You want us off of the
off of the
website?
party's website, yes.
Okay.
We're not Republican enough. So we're not supposed to support.
So my reasons for
So we're going to time, the parliamentarian is timing you 2 minutes, or is it 3 minutes? Do we usually do 3 minutes? 3? Okay. 3 minutes. Go.
So the Republican Party of Texas, they decoupled a couple of years back, I believe, from the TFRW, the Texas Federation of Republican Women. So they kind of set a precedence for it. Also, we have witnessed that the Republican women organizations have disrespected our chairman. And they have not been fair to conservative candidates during the debates. They don't hold the rules for decorum. And I just don't think it's appropriate for them to be included in our party's website and promote their functions.
Okay, is that it? All right. Are there any others that want to speak for or against this motion? Scott Baker would like to speak.
I am Scott Baker, Precinct 23, and I am absolutely against this motion. I think it's a terrible idea. It certainly doesn't support the idea of unity and bringing the party together. Not to mention the fact that the Republican women's organizations in this county, especially above all others, have helped build this party. And there are disagreements, there's primary disagreements, there's lots of arguments and things, and we can debate all we want to. But we've got to start focusing on the bad guys. And the Republican women are not the bad guys. They're not. You may not agree with them. You may not like what they have to say sometimes. That's okay. You don't have to. But they're Republican. They're staunch Republicans. They have helped build this party for decades. And for us to say, you can't even be on the website? I mean, when are we going to start focusing on James Tallarico? And the Democrats? When? I gotta ask. We got this again. We're going to focus on internal warfare. We're going to focus on who's Republican enough to be in the party or be on the website even. We can't even mention their name. What a colossal misuse of our resources and time to even debate this. Absolutely no. And I want to thank you to the Republican women organizations for all that they've done for this party.
Thank you. Okay, we have one that was for and we have one that is against the motion. Do we have anyone else that would like to speak? Melinda?
Melinda Olin, Precinct 89, and I am supporting Kim's motion. What we witnessed in Willis, at that candidate forum, those 3 Republican women's clubs, that was absolutely unbelievable. And what they allowed, their rules, Will Metcalf, the way he went off, and these Republican women, you know, they did not support the censure. That's why they boycotted the gala. And they don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to have transparency. And it was so one-sided. And there was no decorum there, no rules for their side. And it was just blatant. And it's time. And how they have treated Gwen, I've known people who have gone to that Bentwater group and have told me how horrible Gwen is treated there. That is so disrespectful. I'm sorry. You may not, you know, and I don't know why, you know, Gwen doesn't go after people. Gwen is not combative. She's done a lot of good for this party, and she has a heart for it. And what she's put up with, and that night too, she got there late. Her husband had been in and out of the hospital. They had been to the emergency room. He had had surgeries. I applauded her for even being there that night. She has been through a lot. Plus, she had her own campaign. Then she's being accused of not, you know, getting the judges for this election. Come on. The poor woman is doing the best she can.
Thank you. Cat Rummel. So I believe we had 2 for, 1 against, and we have Cat Rummel speaking.
Hi, Cat Rummel, 45. You know, it's so hard to sit in here. We're never going to unite. We're never all going to think alike. We're not supposed to. That is because we have the free will to think the way we think. The Republican women are not affiliated with the Republican Party. They support it or they don't. Are we in a bad patch right now that we're not supporting one another? You're absolutely right. We don't know one another. We don't get to know one another. We're so much bigger than this room. This isn't the end-all, be-all, and if it is, I'm sorry for y'all. We have to be bigger and better, and this that you want to bring to us is not better, it's not bigger, it's not being anything positive for this party. We only need to be worrying about this right now. Why are we bringing anything else to the table? Why are we discussing anything other than we have 2 elections coming up? That is what our focus should be on, not that, I'm sorry, Gwen, her feelings were hurt. Is that right? No. I don't think Gwen's feelings should be hurt. I disagree with that. If that were Brian up there, would you be coming up here saying they didn't treat Brian right? No, you wouldn't. It can't just be because I like this one and I didn't like that one, it's okay. That is the problem. We don't have a standard. We don't have one thing we go by. We're going to have to figure it out. Go across the aisle. Alice and I got to spend some time together in the parking lot. Are we best friends? No, but we got to know one another. I suggest, heck, we need to start doing speed dating and find at least 3 things about each other that we didn't know before. And humanize one another, and remember, we're bigger than this room. We're bigger than the Women's Republican Club. We're bigger than everything, and we've got to come, put our pitchforks down, and move forward. I'm not asking anyone to love one another, embrace one another, but let's get behind him. Let's get behind the next election, and let's figure out how we can support one another instead of tearing each other freaking apart. It's enough. Let's just try and make it enough and figure out how we can coexist.
Thank you. Okay, if I have my count right, we've had 2 for, 2 again. Help me out, guys. 2 for, 2 against. So we have room for 1 more for and 1 more against. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. I'm Phoebe Wesley, Precinct 7. When it comes to debates like this, I try to think, what is a greater principle that we can hold on to? Are there any biblical principles or constitutional principles? And it occurred to me that as a party, we do not support favoring any particular demographic. We wouldn't want to elevate a white Republicans club. We wouldn't want to elevate a black Republicans club. We have decided that we want everyone to be represented. And I don't think it's necessarily wrong that Republican women clubs exist, but by nature of the way they are set up, men cannot lead. And if we look at God's design, we see that God designed for men to lead. I believe in the government, in the family, and in the church. And he intended for women to be participatory. And I do believe it's good that women can run for office. But I think if we look at principles, why does one group that excludes half of the Republicans from senior leadership have favoritism in being listed in our website? I clicked around, and in the other section that is just for conservative organizations, the Grumpy Old Men's Club exists. However, it says you don't have to be a grumpy old man to attend. I don't know what their leadership structure is like, if you have to be a grumpy old man to lead. But this is just my observation looking at principles, and I think I personally don't have time to be a part of any clubs, but I would want to attend a club that was led co-ed and with men being involved. And I think each sex, we have our weaknesses, and it's stronger if we have both in leadership of our groups. So I personally support decoupling, and that doesn't mean I oppose my local group. I appreciate their efforts, but this is a principle I wanted to point you all to. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have room for 1 more against. Oh yeah, we'll run Greg Parker off.
Two years ago, after the other election, I was determined to get along with everybody. I was doing pretty well, I thought, until the organizational meeting. You all know what happened there. It was all one-sided, but I was still going to do it. So when it came time for the gala, I went to the chairman and I said, you know, the Republican women's groups have always helped with the gala, and we would be glad to do that this time. I was told, oh, that's great. I'll get back to you after the committee makes all the arrangements, and we'll tell you what you can do. So I never heard from anyone. I went to the gala. Nobody got on to me about it. Our current campaign activities chairman also went with me. That Bentwater group just gave $5,000 to Brett Ligon for his campaign. We also gave it to other Republicans who have Democrat opponents for their campaigns.
We give constitutions to all the third graders in Willis ISD, and we give dictionaries to all of the fifth graders in Willis ISD. We give $2,000 scholarships to students who believe in the Republican Party. We're trying to grow the party. I could go on and on about what we do, but I don't recall anyone from this group coming to any of the Republican women fundraisers. There may be some, I don't want to put out a blanket one. Our dinner for our fundraiser, which we worked very hard on, was $50, not $250. We did not boycott anything. Get that out of your mind. That would have been all of us getting together and saying, we're not going to that gala. That never happened. Now you can do what you want. You can take us off your website. We are a national organization of women. Men can be associates, and many of them are, and they help us a lot. They can do anything the women, is that?
That's your clap.
I'm done. They can be associates, they just can't vote.
Thank you. We had 3 for and 3 against. I would like to I'm not speaking for or against. I'm just giving an explanation of why they are on the website. When I came into office, they were not on the website. They approached me and asked me, would there be any way, since Brian had made arrangements that they could be on his website, they asked me if there was any way that they could be added to the website. The steering committee opposed it, and there was an argument that did ensue about whether we were going to put them on the website or not. I did make arrangements with Pete Stees to set up their kind of like, this is my untechnical description, they have a little separate part of, they're not really on our website there, but you don't see that. They're kind of in a little separate area, and Kate is the one who gets all of the information. The reason the Republican women like to have this on our website, it gives them, they could actually do it without us, the same thing. They don't have to be on our website. They could do the very same thing and set up a website where they're centralized. But they like to be able to go to a calendar and see all 6 of the Republican Women's Club's events so they don't step on each other's toes. So, in the spirit of trying to unify the party, I had asked that they be put on the website. I worked very hard making sure that that happened. I will say, this is not speaking against, but every time I attend one of their meetings, I am not treated well. I will have to say that. And if they don't want to own that, that's their privilege. But anyway, just in the full disclosure. So we're moving on with the vote at this point. All those that are in favor of taking that separate website down so that we do not point to the Republican women, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed to that motion? Nay. Oh, shoot.
Nays.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to have to stand. Okay, so all those that are in favor of separating that website out, please stand, and we will vote.
1, 2, 4, 5, 7, Robert, 8.
I think you missed Jackie. Oh, okay.
9. Okay. 10.
11.
12. Betty. 14.
16. 17.
18.
Okay, we have 18 that are for removing the separate website. We're now voting. All those that are against that motion, please stand. Gotta go down. You're the counter. What are you doing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8, 9, 10,
11,
12,
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
21.
22,
23.
24,
25.
25.
or 26.
Should be 26.
Someone over there.
Should have been 26, not 25.
Okay. 5.
So, Lewis, if you would give us the count.
26 against, 18 for.
Okay, the motion fails. So they will remain as a separate little website that I'm not sure what the word is.
Landing.
It kind of feeds over from our website.
All it is a link to their website.
A link, that's the word I want to use. Links over to their little summary website, which allows them to be able to look at a calendar, and we actually don't maintain the calendar, and Kate does. So thank you. We're ready to move on. We have the motion for May 2nd election, get out the vote expenditure. I'm assuming that's John Wirtz. Is that John Wirtz?
I don't have anything right now.
Oh, okay. So you do not have anything under that? Oh, well, yes, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, we're getting close here.
Sorry. We had discussed getting out the vote through doing texting and trying to get people motivated to go vote during this election, because we do not want a Democrat to win our SD4 race. So that was what we wanted to do. And if we already have funds approved, if I'm not mistaken, that we could draw from to pay for it. So if y'all are in favor of using the funds that we've already approved for the election, then we could just dispense with it and go today and do some texting.
I don't think we don't have funds already approved. I think what you're talking about is there's some funds left over from the earlier election, possibly, but we haven't had a report on that.
How much? You don't know? Okay.
Just a minute. Okay, Amy?
We wanted to do that in our precinct, and we're told that we did not have vote numbers.
You
can get phone numbers.
We can do texting. You can pay for a text yourself in your precinct. Okay, that's a done deal.
There's companies you can.
It's about funds coming from the party to do the whole county, which can be as much as,
Well, we just need to know how to get the numbers.
it could be $2,000 or $3,000 to do a broad-based text, that's all.
So Amy, if you want to work with Herschel, I'm sure he'll be able to work with you.
I'll work with you.
Okay, yes, Bob.
Make a motion that we approve the funds to get this done.
How much money?
Okay, well, Herschel, you didn't really say how much it was going to cost.
give me a limit and then we'll get there. So, let's say $3,000. $3,000.
All right, I'm going this way, Robert.
Shouldn't you have a plan of exactly who you're going to target and know how many people that is and what that's going to purchase?
I can't do that up here.
Point of order. No, I mean, there's 98 precincts in SD4 within Montgomery County of 121, and you should be able to look at those 98, figure out from the system how many people we have numbers to text for, and what the cost would be. Like, what is the cost for it?
I can't do it right now. I can do that.
Well, how did it end up here on? I mean, we've got the election coming up, and there's an item to talk about this. I mean, why isn't something prepared for this? From either the get out the vote, I mean the victory committee, or I mean yourself personally, if you're the one who put this item on the agenda.
Yeah, I think it was Herschel. I thought you had said something about 15,000. I don't know.
Well, we had originally approved 15,000 to help get out the vote, and a lot of that money was used because of the election or polling location changes, as far as the texting goes. But there should be a lot more funds left in that original 15,000 that could be used for this project here. So I haven't worked up the numbers.
Okay, so Scott Baker is standing. He would like to speak.
Is this just for texting, or is there anything else associated with this?
No, that's basically we're going to use texting to get the vote out. That's the only way we can get a big reach in SD4, or in our part of SD4.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we authorize up to $3,000 to be spent on a texting campaign.
I
thought he said 3,000.
3,000 should be.
I mean, I would say.
Okay, so now you're talking about $3,000. That would cover the whole county.
That's not enough money. That's like
one. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not the whole county. It's the
4 to 6 cents. 4 to 6 cents.
Real quickly, I'm going to point out something. We set aside 15,000. We spent 8,944, so that leaves us about 6,000 that we had set aside for get out the vote previously.
Right.
Okay.
So we got the funds, already dedicated to getting out the vote. I just said we could use some of those funds to do this, and it won't take but about half of it to get the message out, to get the vote out.
So what you're proposing is something along the lines of just reminding voters to get out and vote.
Absolutely.
Will you be mentioning Mr. Ligon's name?
Yes.
Well, if you're mentioning his name, be sure and get his approval on what the text looks like.
It'll be a real good one.
And if you use his picture, you want to get his approval.
With the cowboy hat. Yeah, with the cowboy hat.
So we have a motion for, okay, Bob.
And the second.
And we have a second. All those in favor of was it 6,000 now that we're the motion? Do you need to amend your motion? No, him.
Yeah, me. I'm the one that made the motion. Okay, I motion that it's 6,000 enough? Is that the number?
Up to.
Okay, up to $6,000 to support specifically our Republican candidates and get out the vote.
Yes.
Thank you. So would you like to second that, Bob? All right, we have a second. So the motion is now up to $6,000 for this particular race to get out the vote texting. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Woohoo! Yay! Thank y'all so much. I am proud. Okay. Is there any other new? Yes, Bob.
5 cents.
Second. What did you say? Do I have a second? We have multiple seconds. All those in favor of adjourning to the next meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
So this was my very first meeting here.